go. Record. Okay, so I think we just kind of wanted to hop on. For one, we just haven't been able to do this in a while. Um, just to kind of talk and collaborate. I feel like there's always changes going on in body, and there's some really good ones that we're starting to come out. A few will be implemented in 2023, and then we'll have more in 2024. But a lot of really good things for us, as far as like income compensation plan, just different things that we're able to offer more variety for our clients. So, one of the things that I keep hearing, if you listen to the Trina call and you listen to like Corey and Susan's after leadership call, like it just really feels like corporate and partners are just really like working together like maybe never before, like just really collaborating, which is really, I think, special with our network, and that we don't just have like a CEO and they're telling us what to do. We actually have like a partner advisory board that we work with them, and we get to speak the things that we need as partners. And Body does a really good job at listening to what we need and giving us some ways that we can grow our business and work within an ever changing society that's changing, social media that's changing. So we have a lot of new things going. Is Andrea on here now?
Yep, I see her.
There you are. Andrea, do you want to start us off, or do you want me to keep going?
You're doing good. My computer is still not up, so that's why I'm on my phone. It's taking forever. So yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. So hopefully you've been able to hear about some of the changes, but just really quickly, some of the things that we have. We now have a $35 monthly option for people to just get in the door. So if you've had people and they've been watching you and they're like, what is this thing you're doing? Or what is this? I mean, this is a really great way to just get someone in the door and to be able to add on your favorite things. So let's say you love Energize, and who doesn't love Energize? Or Shakeology, or whatever it is that you love. You can always say, come and start with me. It's $35. And would you like to try this too? So that's a great way to get people in the door trying the things that you're trying. There are supposed to be like these new mini workout sessions. I just heard about it on the Trina call after church. I was listening to the calls, like I've got to listen to this so I know what was happening. But apparently we'll have like a short little stint where we can do like kickboxing with Jericho, or you can do like yoga with Elise. So those will be like little specials that will be going on during the month for people who have Body. So just always giving us extra content. They are streamlining the way we do super blocks. So if you have felt the pressure to do every new super block, which I kind of like that, but it is kind of like, okay, we're going to ramp up again, and then we're changing something again. We're actually going to be reducing that to 4 super blocks a month, which I think is a lot. It's just a lot more doable, and you can keep doing the ones that you love doing. But I think that gives us time to establish results and then bring in more people to do that block that we got results from, whether, versus like always doing something new. And like people who've been watching us, they're like, oh, they're doing something new again. Some people like that, and some people just need to see results and then jump in. So I think that'll give us the opportunity to do that. Let's see. What other things do you want to talk about, Andrea?
Sorry, I was distracted for part of it. So did you mention the monthly options, like not the super blocks, but like the new membership options?
35. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, still trying to get my computer to cooperate. Let me think. I think those are the main things. I have done one of the specials before. I did one with Joel, and so like, because you can do them live and then they'll put them up there, and there are some there, but it's going to be some different kind of content. But I do like that they're only doing 4 super blocks, because I love the super blocks, but it is a lot. And I do think when we do things more than once, we probably will get better results than just changing completely every month or whatever. So I think that will be good.
I think it's less overwhelming too, because yes. I think people are having a hard time. Like, what do I invite to now? Or what, now I got to change course and talk about this now. And so it should hopefully simplify everything for everybody, because it is a lot. And then you feel like you're missing out if you're not doing what everybody else is doing. Like it's kind of just like stay in your lane, pick what you want. And that what I really like about this whole like the $35 a month thing or the $99 package. It meets people where they are. And then we're not pressured, because I know I've talked with some of my coaches who, have a hard time getting people to commit to that $219 package. I get it. I mean, right now, it's just the way it is with people, but this $35, it's easier to talk to people about it and talk to more people, I think, along with the $99 one too, I think. So I like that. I really am glad that they changed that.
Yeah, I'm glad that we have more options, because like Corey said in her call the other night, like the 219 or 199 is, the best value, but like, people may not be ready for that. So it's just good to have different options for sure.
Well, and the other thing with that too is, that they always say like people only have a couple second attention span, and then we're asking people to have an entire year. Like, this is what you're going to do all year long, and people just can't grasp that. At least that's what I'm finding when I'm talking to people. It is the absolute best financial option, and if they really want to go all in, but not everybody does.
Yeah.
Another thing with the monthly is they can come in and try one of our groups. I think Melissa and Andrea, like, we've all changed our groups to being monthly. So that way nobody gets lost. You have a set time to do it. It works well if you're doing a monthly option. Another thing that a lot of people are doing is starting to take 5 people at a time, like new people, and putting them in a little pod, be that a text thread or a messenger. And even before you put them in the group, let's say the group hasn't started yet, but you have someone ready to start, you can start working with those people, start getting them results, and then when they want to continue on, you can put them in a group. But it's just another option if you don't feel ready to run a group, or if you feel like your people would be overwhelmed in a group, or you just want to start someone in a smaller setting. That's an easy way to do it, and you don't have to have content prepared every day. It can literally just be kind of one of the things like we've done in our group this month, is just kind of like shared, what recipe are you doing, what inspired you today. I mean, because really, I mean, people don't need to get up and read a bunch of things. They just need someone to do life with them. So having a small group of people and putting them in a pod is another easy way to do that.
Yeah, I think Trina said about that 5 people. I wrote it down, actually: community and connection over content. I really like that.
I definitely agree with that too. Cause yeah, I mean, we don't all just need more things to read.
Oh,
It's the accountability. Like I asked all of my people as they were coming into the October group, what can I do to support you? And pretty much everybody said accountability. Nobody said, more morning inspiration or more recipes. Even it was accountability was the main thing people said. And you get that from being connected to each other. You don't get that from being, a lurker in, where you're just kind of seeing what people are doing and never saying anything. You have to put yourself out there too.
I like one of the things from just listening to the Trina call. She asked 2 simple questions of her team. And I think it's good for us to ask of ourselves and just in this group here. And they're really simple. Like, this is something you can easily think about. What are you inviting to? So when you sit down to work, or you sit to plan your week or your month, like, what am I inviting to? And I have written that on my spiral before. What am I inviting to? Especially if the group has already started and I'm like, okay, now what am I inviting to? But figure out what you're inviting to. Maybe it's a special little pod that you're going to do. Maybe it's next month's group. But what are you inviting to, and how will you take care of them? Will you come into the group and just support their check-ins? Will you check on them twice a week personally? Are you running a message thread? It's totally up to you how to do it. But those are the 2 questions when you sit down to think about where your business is going, and you think about who you're going to be bringing in. What are you inviting to, and where will you be taking care of those people?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that I liked on the Trina call was she was sharing from the panel. Different people said things that they did, and one of the people, I think it was Natasha Pearson, said that she found the one thing that changed her life and led others through it. And it's not necessarily like you're finding a program or a product, but it's what it is to you. So like for Natasha, it was To Be Mindset. So, she learned how to eat healthy for weight loss, and she shares that every single day. And I was thinking about that for me. And I feel like for me, it was like having a plan. Like I never knew what to do. And so like for me, I think the thing that changed for me is just having a plan. And, and that being the thing that you lead people through. I thought that was a really a good way of looking at things.
Yeah. I thought was interesting in going through that panel. These are the top leaders in our company, and like everyone does it differently. And so
Mhm.
you don't have to like think, okay, I'm not doing it like this person, or this one person has success because she does it this way. I think at the end of the day, what's so freeing is just being you and sharing what you love, sharing it the way you want to share it. You know, not everyone wants to share their workout videos. Not everyone wants to share a recipe. Those are things you might enjoy, but I mean, figure what makes you happy, what brings you joy in the problem that you're solving. And I think that's the thing too. Always attach what you're sharing to the problem you're solving. I'm trying to get better at this too. I'm starting to do more recipe reels on Instagram. But what I need to do is not just share a recipe, but like, okay, here's how you can make dinner on a busy day. Here's
Mm-hmm.
a delicious meal you can eat and lose weight. Like just simple little things like that while you're sharing your day. If you do a picture of you working out, that's amazing. But say, love being able to do this, it brings me sanity when times are hard. Like just that little bit more, just that one sentence of why am I
Mm-hmm.
sharing this and how can it solve your problem? I think is a big connector.
She talked too
Yeah.
about that with posting. Like I wrote down, like to start your, not, you don't start all, like we all shouldn't be starting our post this way, but I like these questions, like, have you ever, and then whatever that question is, like to the person, because they're not going to buy anything if they don't resonate with it. But have you ever, and then, felt bloated after eating a meal, I think is what she uses her description.
Mm-hmm.
And then can you imagine like going into your closet and knowing that you can pick anything out of there and it's going to fit fine? Like that's what people really want because they feel it. And so
Mm-hmm.
that kind of goes in with what you're saying about like, what does that recipe do for you, or what does the workout do? Because I get bored. I mean, I'm doing the same thing all the time, and I am kind of getting bored with it. So
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I'm taking away from a lot of the stuff I've heard lately is like figure out what problem you solve and share that. And it needs to be the same thing every time. And if you feel like you're being repetitive, you're doing something right. Which is kind of, in a way, it's comforting because you don't have to completely reinvent what you're going to say every day. Like, what am I going to say today? It's always the same, focus of solving the same problem. And being a resource for people, showing them that you are able to solve this problem, and then they're going to want more from you, and they're going to want your help. It makes total sense.
Mhm.
I think we just have to do a better job of saying, I've solved this problem for me. I can help you solve it for you. Because if we don't actually say, I can help you, people are going to just keep looking for someone else that can solve it for them.
I think some of the ways that we have done things in the past have changed. I know for me, if you've heard me talk about like how I used to start my month, I used to start with a list of 100, like all the time. I'd have my list of 100 and I would go through, and I'm finding more and more that for one thing that doesn't bring me joy, and also it's just not effective anymore. It really is more effective to be sharing like we're saying, and then just kind of funnel down through there. So when you are on Instagram or you're doing a Facebook post and you do a call to action, who is liking your post, who is interested, and then funnel down from there. If you're doing a newsletter, which by the way, it's not hard to start a newsletter. You don't have to be at a certain place in your business to do so. It's free. I started on MailChimp maybe the first, I don't know, quarter of my being a partner. But just sending people, it could be anything. You can do anything. You can tell a story of something that has something that within body that has helped you this week, or talk about how it can help them. Send a few recipes to add value, and just send that to your mailing list, and then watch who's opening my newsletters, who's interested, who's commenting, because then you can funnel down and find who you can help that month without inviting the
Mhm.
huge bulk of people.
Mhm.
You can narrow it down. It just feels more like a business that way, honestly, and you're going to be helping the people who really want to be helped.
Mhm.
Yeah. And there was one of the things that they said in that panel about having the 10 in play, which I've heard of that before. But basically, it's like having a list of 10 people that you're talking back and forth with, and like those people are kind of still in the decision. It's people that have said, yeah, send me more info, and you're talking. And so, I mean, if you have never done that before, maybe think, let's have 5 in play and try to find like 5 people to have a conversation with. And they could be people that have told you yes in the past, but still have never committed. They could still be in play. And if they say, yes, then you take them off and you put somebody new. If they say no, then you would take them off and put somebody new, but like have those people on a list so that you don't forget about them, because I know that I can be guilty if I don't, write them down, that they might just slip through the cracks and I'll forget that, 5 months ago they were interested and I never followed up. So having that hot list is a great way to just focus on the people who have expressed interest. And it's better than the 100, because you're not just, casting it out to everybody. You're focusing on the people that, were interested at one time, and, helping them get to a decision, whether it's yes or no, and then moving on, and finding more people. So I think that just feels better, like you said.
It's a lot more manageable.
Mm-hmm. Do any of y'all have any questions or comments that you want to share?
I was thinking when I watched the Trina call, and I still haven't listened to the last 5 minutes, but I was thinking that they would talk more about the compensation plan. But I think one of the reasons they're not digging into that too deeply yet is that a lot of the changes start in 2024, and we do need to be focused on what we can do to finish 2023. But I think it's worth saying that for the upcoming, I think does it start in December? I think we start to be able to get more ways of earning income, like as we build our team in December, and as we bring in people and then they bring in people, all of those people count for an additional bonus on top of what we're already getting with our team cycle bonuses. Another cool thing, an incentive to getting to Diamond, is that Diamond will now be allowed to have a quarterly bonus. It's always been 2-star in the past, and now Diamond is. So just some things to kind of look forward to and be thinking about throughout the rest of October and November, but especially when we get to December, some of those changes will be going into effect. So just know that that's on the horizon, and be thinking about what you want to do with that with your team.
I think Corey is she talking about that this week? She was going to I forget what the call this week is supposed to be about, but I think she's going to.
I feel like she said it was coming, but I think she said that something about Shakeology this week, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
It might be with the new Snickerdoodle coming out. She said she had some ideas, so I'm not sure which one she'll do the call on, but make sure to come to the team Arete calls, because I feel like she's always got really good strategies for us. So.
Yeah. And actually, did you catch that on the Trina call with the Shakeology? They had that panel, and I don't really talk about it like I should. And I think because we have a society today that I don't want to have a shake. I'd rather just eat my food. Like, they don't understand. And we just don't talk about it enough to really explain the benefits or even the different ways. I just was on a bod group Zoom call earlier today, and like, we're looking for recipes that we can make with Shakeology. But if you talk about it, like these girls on this panel for 30 days, they literally just talked about it for 30 days, increased their sales 130%. That's insane. Yeah. So
it is. It's definitely worth doing. When I heard that day, I did talk about my shake while I was making it, and just one of the benefits that I noticed that it's done for me. And so it definitely motivates me to try to do that several times a week, if not every day. It doesn't mean, post on your feed, but just in your stories, talking genuinely about why you drink it every day, what it does for you. I think that's
and it's not good. Like a selfie like we used to do, like 2016 when I signed up. Don't do that. Yeah.
Don't put up pictures of Shakeology. You don't want to look like you're a billboard, but just share. It just goes back to sharing you and your day. I mean, what are you doing? It makes it really easy when you're doing the things and you're sharing them, because you don't have to think. It's like, I'm about to make my shake. I might as well, do a video while I do it, or talk about it, or, take a picture of it. Am I doing my workout? I might as well share that. Like, whatever you're already doing, it just makes it a lot easier, because you don't have to think. You don't have to create as much content. You're just doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I am excited about the growth day. I didn't think I would be, but I really feel it like mindset is something that in your personal journey, I think everybody needs. Everybody. I don't care. I mean, okay, maybe they tell you, I eat clean. I don't need a nutrition plan. I don't need the Shakeology. I move around every day. I don't really need the workout, but everybody needs personal mindset work, in my opinion. And I really liked, and what he said, or what Trina actually said, he said, I guess, is self-talk either strengthens you or depletes you. And that is so true. I know because I'm doing it myself. So, and kind of going along with that, like I know I've been guilty of this, kind of blaming my circumstances on where I'm at right now in my business, and not really, like, I guess he had talked to some actual bigger body coaches, and like they were like getting wrapped up in, oh, it's the product's fault I'm like this, it's the economy's fault that my business is like it is, or we were kind of just getting wrapped up in other reasons instead of bringing it back to us and just taking ownership with where we are and why we are where we are. So I'm really hoping that is going to help strengthen the whole network, really, that whole mindset thing.
Yeah, I think so. I did see, so Donna had a question about the 35 monthly subscription doesn't provide access to super blocks. I think that's correct. Like you would have to buy the super block separately. And so yeah, it's really, if I used that, I would say this is a great way to just try it out. Or for people that just really don't want Shakeology, because the 99 bundle is good for people that want Shakeology. I think that is like such a great deal, because I had somebody message me the other day that just wanted Shakeology, and I was like, well, we have this other bundle, which yes, that ended up costing her less, and maybe that was less commission for me, but it's a better deal for her. She gets all the workouts and she gets less Shakeology, but it's probably as much as she's gonna drink, and I'm able to serve her a little bit better. And so, but with the 35, the point of that I've heard coaches say is it's to build your own bundle. It's not to just sell the 35. It's to say, okay, if you don't want Shakeology, let's throw in some Energize or some beach bars or whatever, like things that can help them with their journey. It's more of a build your own kind of thing, and more customizable than, because some people are just really against Shakeology for one reason or another, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it has to be a no for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the 99 does come with two super blocks.
Yeah.
So the super blocks are always extra. Those are always either $29 or they're earned through a home direct. But the 99 will give them the two super blocks. So,
and isn't their partner fee is also waived? They could sign up as a partner too.
Yes. And that would mean that if they do it the second month, it will actually be like 75, but then they pay the $15.95. So it's like 90. So they'll save $9, but but then they also have the discount too that they could use.
Yeah.
So
so just more options, which I think is always a good thing. And that's the point, is like, that's where you have to have the conversations with people to get to know where they're at and what they need. It's not just about what you love and what you think people need, but understanding what their needs are, really listening and saying, okay, well, because you said this, we have this, and I think that this would help you here and there. And then people, can tell that you're trying to help them, not just sell them something.
So as far as like what we have going on in the next week or so, we will have another free group next week. It's going to be like crock pots and closets. I've done this one for years. And we did it last year together. And I think the year before we had like 600 people or something in the group. We're starting fresh. We're kind of adding on to the free group we did last month. But if you want to come be a part of that, it is a great thing to invite people to. Now that I would sit down and invite all day too, because it's just fun. And you're only adding value to people. They're going to be getting crock pot recipes. I always see people do like they go through a closet or a drawer or a pantry, and people they love to post their befores and afters. It's just a great community. So it gives people a taste of what you can accomplish in community, and that we can eat healthy foods and not have to labor over them. So it's a really great one to start inviting to. And then think about those people for November, when we get to our November groups. It's one of those funnels. It's like taking people who would be interested in working with us, adding value, having this 3-day group with them, and then seeing if they'd be interested in doing November too. So that's something to think about for this upcoming week.
And I thought of something. I know Jennifer just had a question, but I was inviting into that group today, and I guess I should probably let my people that are in there, I'm doing a post about it tonight, so I already have that written up. But I'm thinking I need to let people know that are already in that group that, hey, and I'll probably wait until tomorrow to do that, because I just want to see if there's some kind of generation on my post tonight. but letting them know, hey, I know you're in this group. We talked about recipes last month, but this month we're going to be talking about crock pots and closets. And so, feel free to jump in and learn something or take something away from it. So I think you probably have other people in there, maybe reach out to them and let them know what's happening too, because you're not really going to invite them back in. Kind of you are, but you're not, because they're already in there.
But yeah, the reminder to re-engage so that they don't forget about it. Because yeah, after our last month's group, I went and messaged every single person that was in there that I had invited, and said, hey, did you have a chance to try any of the recipes? What was your favorite or something? And a lot of people are like, oh, I never did look at it. Can I still look at it? And I'm like, yeah, it's still there. But it's just a reminder. And the more that we remind them, the more they're going to come back and see it. And then we'll see our post at the end about the group and stuff like that. That will, challenge group.
I think this can, if free groups too, can always be a great default too. Like you can be talking to someone about coming to join with you in November and doing, the 99 or whatever you're wanting to do. And if they say, no, I'm not ready, you can say, okay, that's fine. You know what? I do have this free group that you can come and try, and there's nothing you'd have to do, but just come and check it out. So you kind of have to be careful when you're doing a business that you're not, like if you aren't where you want to be in your month, you still need to be talking about things that are going to be generating income, but you can always use that as a backup too. So, you can be inviting to the free group, but you can also at the same time be inviting to something that they're going to be able to get longer results from, and that's going to build your business as well.
Yeah, and give them more tools. Like if you like these recipes, you probably really like having our recipe library with the tools of how to eat healthy for your entire day, and kind of you can build on that.
I'm excited. I need to clean a closet or two out.
My closet isn't, I don't even know if I'd be comfortable sharing my before and after. It might be more of a midway and after picture, because I would be devastated if you actually saw my before closet.
Andrea would probably have it like, it's probably like our email, Stacy. Andrea.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you people?
Yeah, y'all are special, but you're not the only ones. There's a lot of people like you.
Well, my closet is like it's my last priority. I mean, I want the house to look nice. I mean,
yeah.
Part of the reason I hired a housekeeper to come every other week is so that I would clean my house and keep my house at a place where a housekeeper could come in. That's just sad, but it's true. But it has totally worked. My entire family keeps, they all, my kids, everybody, they all keep like at a certain level of, but then I have those places like my closet.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I've got to go through now.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Yeah, I think it'll be good. So that's going to be Wednesday to Friday this week. So yeah, it'd be good for us to post about that either today or tomorrow, maybe have a list of people, or just go down your friends list and just, invite people and just say, hey, I'm doing a group with some crockpot recipes and some inspiration for us to clean out some closets. Do you want to do this with me? I think it's going to be fun. I mean, it can be that simple. And it's 3 days. So it's a really low time commitment. Like for me, when we do free groups, my goal is always like, how can we add to somebody's life without being like too much for them to commit to, because like when you ask a lot of somebody, even if it's free, they're not going to do it. So having something that's very low commitment, just inspiring and fun, I think it's easy to invite to.
I like this one too because it's got two totally different modalities to it. Like I always like end it with come for the organization or come for the food or whatever. Because some people are like, I don't have time to go anything, but I am busy at work and I could use some crock pots. But then you've got some people and they're like, my family doesn't like crock pots, but I do have a closet I need to go through. So you're really like hitting two different groups of people.
Or maybe, yeah, or like I don't have a crock pot anymore. Mine is broken, so mine are all the Instant Pot recipes. Yeah. But
or even mega heads. I mean, that kind of can go in there too. I have a lot of meals that you make the night before or the morning of, and then you just throw them in the oven. So, I mean, that's another type of what we're doing.
And I think we're kind of going with this mode of doing things, right? Like even next month, do another free group of some sort, like kind of conversations going. And I think if it's easy to invite you, it kind of gets us in the habit of, inviting more too.
And that is, like we said, the people that we add, those are kind of like in our funnel. So, every month we should look at those people and invite them to a paid group, like, the next month, say, I hope you enjoyed this group. And then would you want to do another group or whatever? And those are kind of, they've expressed interest. So it's a good way to invite from those people instead of just picking some random person on your friends list. Jennifer, I saw you said something about a 3-day refresh, which is probably a good idea maybe after Thanksgiving or something. We hadn't really talked about it, but that's definitely a thought.
Yeah, the 3-day refresh is on sale usually too at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing coming up is To Be Mindset will be having their own block on January. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm curious how that's going to work.
Me too. Yeah, I'm anxious to hear. I don't know much about it, but maybe they felt she needed one too because we've got protocol one. I don't know, but that'll be. I'll see how that is.
It's interesting because I am such a Portion Fix person, but it's funny. Some of the conversations I've had with a couple of ladies lately, as much as I love Portion Fix, I was talking to these ladies and I was like, y'all need To Be Mindset. Like you need simple, you need mindset work. Like, and so I'm thinking I'm excited to try it again too, even though I usually do Portion Fix. And so when they said that To Be Mindset was coming up, I was like, well, that's perfect. Maybe I'll switch and do that in January. Honestly, my highest paying month ever was from To Be Mindset.
Same here.
Yeah, it was definitely my biggest launch ever too.
Because if you think about it, telling people that there's nothing off limits, that it's totally not a diet, that you don't have to count anything, that goes against every other diet out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I had my highest Success Club points that month. I think I was almost at 30 points. Now I can't even get 6. No.
It was.
Today I am, but I will.
Yeah, it's definitely one that appeals to a lot of people, and it's so brilliant. I mean, I have friends that just really struggle with losing weight. I'm like, you need to do 2B. Like, it is brilliant if you will stick to those principles. It's so good for weight loss and just enjoying everything.
Right.
But yeah, I'm curious how that will work being a super block. That's interesting, but it is kind of smart for January too, because maybe they assume a lot of people will be doing Shaun T's program, so they didn't want to put another fitness program.
That's what I figure.
And then people who don't want to do fitness can just focus on nutrition in January, because a lot of people do like Whole30 in January and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think that's a good idea. I think it'll be good.
Yeah. And maybe something to start talking to people now about too, just putting that in there, just putting that seed in there as you're talking to people. I just sent 2 videos for To Be Mindset yesterday to people that I thought would enjoy it. And then ourselves too, like just going back and watching some of the videos and getting ideas, some of the recipes even. Post crock pot recipes this week, and then you can tell people. That's what I plan to do. I plan to do crock pot recipes all this week, even before the free group, and that way I can tell people, hey, do you want more crock pot recipes? Come to the group. So it's just, again, sharing your life. What are you doing? And then keeping that in mind business wise. Who can I help? How can I grow my business by doing what I'm doing already in my week?
Yeah, like what is it about crock pot recipes that solves a problem for you? Like, is it being able to have it ready when you get home because your day is busy, or is it not having to figure out what you're doing later, or things like that. Like, just what's the problem that it solves for you, and sharing that.
I did not know she was coming out with a cookbook, Jen. That's great.
I saw that on her Instagram.
On that one too.
Yeah, it's available for pre-order. I went and looked it up when I saw she talked about it, and it's called like Love the Food That Loves You Back, which I think is really great. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. She shares so many good recipes. I mean, if you want to watch somebody that's good on social media, she is very good, and she's been sharing a ton of recipes lately, and it makes sense because she's got a cookbook launching, and she's super smart with what she does, and she's so good at it, and she shares a ton of value. And like, she came out with those plates and cups and stuff that help you with the portions or the proportions of things. And like, she'll do recipes and she uses them in a way that you're like, I need that plate, and she's selling you something, but she provides so much value. So she's a great person to watch.
I didn't know she had plates and cups. I literally had someone this week ask me, what size plate do you use? And I was like,
oh, there you go.
They have these like little lines, for the plate it method. So like, there's a lunch plate where there would just be, the 3, and then there's a dinner plate that would be like, but they're stylish. And she has cups that have lines for like 5, 8, and 16 ounces. And I don't know, she uses them all the time and explains how she does it. It's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so more options that you can be using and some things we've got going on with our team here and good stuff coming.
Good.
I'm
We did that
excited.
all with a minute 49 to or 39 to go. So that's good.
Perfect. Hopefully we can do this every Sunday and kind of just have a little check-in with each other. I think that would be good.
Yeah,
Helps get focus for the week.
definitely. All right.
Y'all have a good Sunday.
You too.
Yeah.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.